where this is happening, a man on a horse is riding with cars, and it looks like motorcyclists as well. I haven't seen any police yet, but I know some calls have gone in, so we're trying to determine why this guy's doing this. But it's slowing traffic down behind him right during the rush. This is a bad time to be doing this, and it's also illegal. So some cars moving behind him, but this is going to really mess things up. I can't tell, Judy, if those guys are helping him or trying to.
I was just going to ask you, do we have any more information on those who were on the motorcycle?
Oh, there it is. Here's a cop. Trying to wave him off.
And the horse is going for it.
Yeah, so this is the first police officer we've seen now on the Dan Ryan as this gentleman rides his horse.
Looks like the police vehicle is going to try to get ahead of them, hoping to
maybe they'll try and corner.
Slow them down.
That's hard to corner a horse. It's going to keep going and listen to whoever's on its back.
So again, we don't have a whole lot of information on, you see those motorcycles that are riding sort of right alongside of that horse and the man on the horse. And that's sort of the first picture that we saw too, is that the bikers were right there with the horse. So we are thinking at this point that they are together somehow. And as Rob said, that's the first time that we have seen a police vehicle pull up, and it looks like they're slowing down.
Okay. So, sorry, Judy, southbound. This is southbound. So we're trying to figure this out. So southbound, Dan Ryan. So this is going away from the city. So northbound or inbound traffic, which would make it worse. People trying to get home from work. It looks like this is southbound on the Dan Ryan. Near what is the 73rd. Okay, so 73rd. In the Ryan, so not far from the Inglewood exit if you get off there, and then you keep going a little further south, and then it'll start to split. So I don't know if he's just going to keep going down to the southern suburbs or what. Okay,
it almost felt like when the police vehicle was slowing down with a horse right next to the vehicle that they were perhaps trying to communicate with a man who is riding that horse. Kind of thought that maybe he would slow down, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
Well, earlier it was really running. I mean, it was going pretty fast. So these motorcyclists, there were probably about a half dozen riding with this guy on a horse. Now we just see the one guy behind him, and there's an ambulance going by, and now he has a police escort, but that's not getting him to stop running with his horse. So we saw it for the first time about 10 minutes ago, and he's had to have made some ground too. He's had to have gone at least a mile or two since we first saw him.
But again, just a single police vehicle that we can see from Chopper 7 HD right now overhead. And as Rob has been saying, this is causing quite a traffic backup. As the chopper sometimes pulls out that picture, you can see the traffic right behind that group of motorcycles and the horse.
So now they're at 79, so just in the few minutes we've been watching this, he's gone a couple blocks, slowing down a little bit. So one cop, and it looks like another one maybe in the back, and you just see people behind. You're not going to be able to get by. Somebody tried to go by in the shoulder, and that motorcyclist just said, kind of pulled over there, didn't want him to do it. We'll see if he gets off here. There's an exit. He's slowing down. That horse got to be getting tired, too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, now it's just kind of trotting.
I can't help but think sitting here, Rob, you and I have been on the set. We've seen planes land.
We did, yeah, on Lakeshore Drive.
On Lakeshore Drive. We've seen certainly dogs that needed to be corralled on the expressway. This is a first for us.
Yeah, it's been, in a good 20 years of doing this, this is something I've just not seen. You see them downtown all the time, Chicago police forces up and down Michigan Avenue, but they're never on the expressway, which is extremely dangerous. That's the other thing here. If a car comes flying on that shoulder, see, there's one trying to get by right now. It's not a good idea, and that's going to cause problems. But this horse looks like it's out of gas. That's a bad pun, I think, Judy, right? Sorry. No one's hurt as far as we know yet, which is good. And this has just been this one police squad car, and then a couple motorcycles still going with them.
Feels like, it feels like the police squad car is trying to slowly and gently, escort the horse off the expressway there, but not sure that's working. Well, you see some of those drivers trying to pass.
Yeah, that's not something you train for, probably, engaging a horse on the expressway. I don't know how you pull something like that over. That doesn't really go as well as you would just a normal car. He's back again. He got his second win, so now he's trotting a little bit. This guy looks like he has no intentions of getting off the expressway.
Okay, so where are we now on the Dan Ryan? Let's just give everybody a recap of the location.
Chopper 7 HD going to pull out. So, she's talking 81st. So, wow. Already gone 4 or 5 blocks, so over half a mile, just so since we've been watching. this horse southbound on the Dan Ryan. So if you're trying to get out of the city right now, this has got to be backed up for miles, right?
I'm trying to check travel times for you right now and kind of take a quick look.
It's going to be
See
bad.
how backed up it is.
Well, you know, someone's going to get home and be like, honey, I was just really late. I'm so, well, why? Well, there was a man on a horse riding on the expressway. No, okay, we'll turn on the news. Yeah, we're not making it up. And you saw another car trying to get around it because people will get frustrated. Oh, nice, we've got SkyMap 7 going now. This is terrific. So there's 79th. And you see Dan Ryan, we're going south here. There's South Lafayette Avenue, kind of like a frontage that runs along right there. And so now this gives you a crystal clear idea of where this horse is.
And still, again, not a whole lot of information about what this is all about. We had some initial reporting, right, Rob, that he may have been protesting something on the expressway, but that is all we know at this point.
This is a first for SkyMap 7, too. We're tracking the horse going 13 miles per hour. And now, I mean, look, they're fast. Look, he's up to 17. And before, when it was just running, galloping, it was over that. So now 12, still going at a pretty good clip. I mean, they can run in the 20s if they get going.
So I see, and then you see the SkyMap overlay there, so you know exactly where we are right now. So we have been watching this for, what, the last 10, 15 minutes now, as that horse continues down southbound Dan Ryan, obviously causing a backup, and now you're seeing those drivers trying to get around the horse.
He's waving at something there. Is he trying to get him off? Yeah, people aren't going to listen to this guy trying to get people to get off the expressway. And that officer, now before it looked like the officer was waving at him, Judy, trying to tell him to get off, and clearly he's not listening.
Have no idea how far he is intended on going on that horse. Again, you see almost looks like an escort of motorcycle riders there next to him. We don't believe those are police officers. They look like just bikers who are riding along the horse and have been for the duration that we have been watching this.
Some of those look like nice custom-made bikes. And yeah, when we first saw this from Chopper 7 HD about 15 minutes ago, right at the start of the 4:30 broadcast, they were with him and we didn't see any police officers, and now there's just the one behind him. That horse slowing down again. So he's probably gone a mile here just in the last 10 minutes. So we're going under another overpass here. Okay, 83rd. That's a long ways he's gone. Okay, so this is southbound. If you just turn it on the news, you want to get the weather with Larry Mowry because he was talking about warm air and then a cool up coming. We'll get to him to get you the weather forecast in a little bit. But we've been watching this. A horse on the Dan Ryan Expressway, now slowing down, has been going south for a couple miles.
That horse has got to be tired right now. Okay, it looks like the bikers have kind of slowed down.
They're just gonna, nobody seems in any hurry to try and stop it. Here he goes again, to try and stop this man. I just don't know how you do that, Judy. How do you stop a horse? I mean, you could try and get the guy off, but you don't want to injure the horse.
Right.
So he's going a little bit slower now. I was running at a good clip a few minutes ago.
Not a whole lot of chatter on social media either. I was just checking in to see if anybody has posted anything.
There will be now.
Or even if the guy on the horse is protesting something, usually they are posting a few things on social media to kind of alert people on what's happening and the purpose of what is happening. So not a whole lot of chatter. We just don't know exactly what is going on besides what you're seeing right now as we're looking at it in real time via Chopper 7.
The horse up to about 15 miles an hour there, now down to about 12, 13. The police officer behind him now, it looks like an SUV is pulled up next to him. We've seen this a couple times, some of these cars trying to get around. They're probably wondering what the heck's going on. Then you pull around it and you see it's a horse. And so traffic behind this, though, is just got to go back. So we're down at, what, 83rd, now probably closer to 85th. And so this is just going to cause a ripple effect all the way back toward the city, I would imagine, because nobody's getting through. It looks like that state trooper, yeah, maybe behind the Chicago police officer now, and an L train. How about that? You're riding the L, just heading home, and you look out and see that. So it looks like a state trooper's coming up. This would potentially be their jurisdiction, too, because they're on the expressway. He's talking to the other officer, it looks like. So 2 squads there. It's not like you can put strips down to try, some cars, when they're going after him, they'll put those speed strips down to try. You can't do that. I don't know how you stop.
Nope, can't do it with a horse, right?
Hey, no way. So they're giving him some room. You know, Los Angeles has car chases they stay live with, Judy. This is how we do it in Chicago. Yeah, we have a slow horse chase on the expressway on a Monday here in Chicago, and it was going pretty fast. Now it's up to 17 miles per hour or so, and we saw it running faster than this before we put on SkyMap 7. And so now there's just a lot of traffic behind this, and he just keeps on going. And these motorcycles have not left since we've been out live.
No, they have been keeping up right with the horse for this entire time, slowing down with the horse and then picking back up speed once again. So we are watching this happen on the Dan Ryan going southbound on this Monday afternoon. What happened?
Oh, he's just slowing down. That's 87th right there. If you couldn't see it top of your screen as we push in, the horse might just be like, I'm done with this. I don't know. How do you try and get that guy off the horse? Or at least move over to the shoulder, sir.
So we have, what, 2 squad cars right there?
Yeah, state police on the right there, and then the Chicago police SUV. Looks like now he's pointing in the air. He's doing something. That Chicago police SUV has been trailing this horse for a good 10 minutes, and then that state trooper just pulled up. This is about as slow as we've seen him go. There's another biker. Seems like I don't know if they're with him, but they have not left this horse and this gentleman's side since we've seen this on the run.
And a quick count, maybe up to 10 motorcycles that have been riding with what is happening here on the Dan Ryan. So now there is some chatter on Twitter. Mostly people are wondering exactly what is going on and watching this unfold on Channel 7. So many people are. We don't have a whole lot of answers right now. We have a lot of questions, as you do, at this point.
Hey, but we've got you covered because we know the speed of this horse. We know the direction of this horse. We can follow this live thanks to Chopper 7 HD and SkyMap 7. So we're going to stay with this until we figure out what's going on and how they're going to get this guy off the road. And this has been going on now for about 20 minutes, all the way down to, we said 87th, I think, and it was down. He was up at 73rd not long ago. So they're moving at a decent clip here. And there's another SUV on the side as people are trying to just get around this, but that's not going to happen. Not a lot of cars are getting by him.
Okay, I just want to pass along some information from Larry, who's emailing us because he's watching this as well. Yes, you know, this afternoon as he's covering the weather, he is telling us a horse can cover 2 to 2.5 miles in a gallop before it starts to fatigue. But on a trot, a healthy horse can cover 20 to 30 miles in a day if allowed a few breaks in between.
And that's what we're seeing.
Thanks, Larry.
Yeah, Larry, I mean, you can talk to him about anything. He'll get you answers. And so, well, that would make sense, Judy, because it was in a full gallop for a while, slowed down, trotted, now walks, so it's clearly resting here. And according to that, it's going to get to be able to go again here. All right, here's a there's a second state trooper now. So now there's 2 of them. And a police squad car.
I like to hear what's going on over their scanner traffic, right? Talking to each other about how to handle this situation at this point.
Trying to get them to pull off. I mean, this is so dangerous for a lot of reasons. You'll get people who want to get around you. The horse, clearly, this is not good for the horse. Running on that asphalt for a long time, it just can't be healthy for the horse. And then you've got people who may get in an accident. Gapers coming the other way. Right?
And you can imagine if you're driving behind all of this for the last, 15, 20 minutes, drivers are getting impatient, not knowing exactly what's going on in front of them because they can't see. So yeah, there must be a lot of frustration right now on that expressway.
This is the first time the horse has made it to the right lane, the exit lane. It was mostly in the middle lanes, so we might lose it here for a few seconds. You see some railroad tracks right below Chopper 7 HD. This is where police hopefully can try and get a handle on. Now it's really walking slow. Oh, okay, so our control room thinks this horse has gone 7 miles on the Dan Ryan Expressway. Goodness.
Yeah.
It's got to be tired, Judy, right? And you can tell, yeah. He's still, so this rider is still waving his arms around. Has done that a couple times. Looked like he was waving off traffic before. Let's see if he takes this exit. There's one coming up. He's going fast again here, up to 16 miles an hour.
Yeah, maybe we can pull out. Now you see the people on the overpasses and stopping by, taking pictures.
Down to 91st Street now, South Chicago. This has been going on in the southbound Dan Ryan. So if you've got a loved one trying to get out of the city or just running some errands, they're going to be delayed. See, there's another car zipping through. That's where it can get dangerous.
So obviously they're not stopping traffic right now. So you see some of those cars getting by when the horse slows down. And that's where the danger comes in, is without knowing exactly what's going on, those drivers that are passing by at this point. So hopefully everything is going to work out here.
Well, that's a good point too, Judy. Who is this guy? I mean, we don't know what he's doing. We had gotten some reports that he was protesting, but what do we know about who he is and what his intentions are? He's putting this horse's life at risk, and his too, and all the others. Look at the traffic. So here you go.
What's been going on, right, for what, 15, almost 20 minutes now since we started watching this?
Yeah, maybe longer.
Yeah.
7 miles, we believe this horse has traveled on the Dan Ryan, and it's just shut down coming south. I mean, there'll be some traffic getting through. Where is he? Okay, we're going to push back in. Chopper 7H is giving us a good look at the traffic there.
Oh, he's slowing down.
Now you see why. I don't know if those guys know him or what, but they have not left this horse's side since we started watching this live. There's some people just hanging out of a car.
Out of a car? Is that? I was just going in to see that.
Well, it's not something you see every day. They're going 2 miles an hour. There's some children just kind of looking at what the heck that is.
Probably all have their phones out. So we'll be seeing that video coming up pretty soon.
That horse is beat. I mean, that horse is not really running very, very fast now. He's going to try and get it going again. So this was down now past 91st. Police now just trying to get this guy to get off the expressway. Now you see some traffic is moving because this guy's almost all the way over
to the shoulder. Yeah, a very unusual sighting, let's put it that way, when we first got on the story, with a picture from Chopper 7 this afternoon, again, maybe about 20-25 minutes ago, when we first started seeing this, not knowing exactly what is happening. We still don't have very many details on why this man on a horse is stopping traffic all along the Dan Ryan. Again, this is going southbound this afternoon during rush hour traffic, of course, in the city of Chicago. And this is all we know. What you're seeing is what we know at this point.
Do we know that for sure? So we have some unconfirmed. John, before I report that on the air, and I see the email circulating through the newsroom, I want to be sure we know who that this is, that person, before we think we have an idea of who this person is. Okay. So do you see that email, Judy? This is Chicago's Dreadhead Cowboy.
Oh.
So we have seen this person before, and he protests.
Yes, he has been at other marches and rallies.
Yeah.
Although it's hard to tell from this, far picture.
Okay, so now he's getting off. So they might be with this guy protesting. So the Dreadhead Cowboy protests for kids, right? Kids Lives Matter.
And he was recently involved with the census to get the census count up in the city of Chicago. So we have seen this cowboy in other news stories.
Well, and the reason
but not quite like this.
Right. The reason we have it confirmed is he was doing a Facebook Live about 36 minutes ago, and okay, good job up there. Thank you, John. Thanks to the newsroom for finding this. Simon Desk is working hard on this. Kids Lives Matter. This is what the Dreadhead Cowboy shared on his Facebook page. I'm just going to read exactly what he said. Kids Lives Matter. Dan Ryan shut down until we understand that nothing else matters. And he was doing, I don't know if he's still going live, but this is, you can see some of the motorcycles in his Facebook Live too, Judy. So those gentlemen, men and women, whoever on those motorcycles, have been riding with him, it looks like in support of his message, which is Kids Lives Matter. Okay,
at least now we have some information on why he is out there and the purpose of his protest that initially came into the newsroom, that he was participating in a protest of some sort. Now we have that information. Where is he now? Did he just get off the expressway? So this has been going on for the last 25-30 minutes. Again, we started watching probably just shortly before 4:30 of this, initially just a man on a horse stopping traffic on the Dan Ryan going southbound, as we have been watching him live on Full Fold with Chopper 7. Again, he was escorted by a group of motorcycle riders. Pretty soon we saw a couple of squad cars from Chicago Police following, and also a state trooper. Now this is what you're seeing with him slowing down on that horse. As Rob mentioned, he was going Facebook Live just before we got on the scene and watched this picture. And we are hoping to get you more information on all of this as we get that into the newsroom. But it looks like finally he is stopping, and traffic on the expressway you see on the other side is moving because this was causing quite a disturbance, as you can imagine. When we first got on the scene, it was just the cowboy with that group of motorcycle riders, no police squad cars on the scene, and traffic started slowing down quite a bit on the Dan Ryan. So we've been watching this unfold for the last 25 to 30 minutes, and now you are watching this hopefully come to some sort of a conclusion at this point on the Dan Ryan. Okay, so the horse has stopped. The cowboy is right now standing on his course. The afternoon gets more interesting as we speak. So you are watching this live picture as we are. Okay, he looks like he is being placed under arrest with the state troopers on hand there. Not sure what is happening with the group of bikers that have been what looked like escorting him this afternoon as he was riding down the Dan Ryan. So again, this is a live picture from Chopper 7 HD as we've been watching for the last good half hour.